What if the loudest manner to grow was in silence? What if your next step didn't require more noise, more validation, or more applause, just quietness of concentration? Every time you talk too quickly about your dreams, you offer them to opinions that were never meant to lead you where you're going. Others will attempt to assist, but their words can plant doubt, and doubt will slow your stride. And sometimes, what holds you back is not failure, it's the noise of too many voices reminding you of what they think you should do. The world praises transparency today. It is cheering individuals who announce every move, every thought, every small increment of progress. But real power, the lasting kind, is built in obscurity. It's built in those long, quiet hours when there is no one clapping, no one watching, and you're the only person still believing in what you're doing. Your next breakthrough won't come through communicating to everyone your plan. It will come because you go missing long enough to build it. Because when you focus intently, you trade attention for alignment. You stop seeking approval and start seeking mastery. And one day, you'll come back, not to explain, not to prove, but to demonstrate what quiet work can do. Welcome to Audiobook Hub. This is Never Tell People What You Do, Focus in Silence. A concise guide to being a master of quiet progress, protecting your energy, and moving with unmixed purpose until your results speak for themselves. So breathe deeply, become familiar with this moment, and let us begin the journey of mastering the art of firm silence. We live in an age of constant noise. Every day, we're encouraged to share what we're doing, what we're planning, what we're dreaming of. The world tells you that if it's not posted, it doesn't exist. But that's the trap, because when you talk too much about your goals, something strange happens. Your mind feels rewarded before you've even done the work. It's called the illusion of progress. Your brain releases a small rush of dopamine, that same feeling of satisfaction that's supposed to come after achievement, and suddenly, you lose the hunger to keep going. So you tell one more person, you post one more update, and slowly, your drive fades without you even noticing. You've already received the applause before you've earned the victory. That's why so many people start strong but never finish. They announced too early. They handed their energy to the crowd instead of the craft. But here's the truth most people miss. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is focus. When you choose not to share everything, you're not hiding, you're protecting momentum. You're keeping your energy where it belongs, inside your work, not outside in opinions. Think about the greatest minds, inventors, writers, visionaries. They disappear for months, sometimes years. Not because they're lost, but because they're building in peace. And when they return, the world is left wondering how they did it. The answer is simple. They worked in silence. When you stay quiet, you conserve energy. When you stay quiet, you build mystery. And when you stay quiet long enough, your results speak for you, louder, clearer, and more convincingly than any explanation could. So guard your goals. Not everyone deserves access to your unfinished chapters. Some things only make sense after they've succeeded. Stay private until you're powerful. Because once your foundation is solid, you'll never need to defend what you're doing. Your work will do the talking. Silence doesn't mean isolation, it means alignment. When you choose to work in silence, you're not cutting the world off, you're tuning yourself in. You're stepping into a space where distractions fade, opinions vanish, and clarity begins to rise. Private work is sacred. It's the part of your journey no one sees, the long nights, the self-doubt, the discipline, the hours of practice when quitting feels easier than continuing. It's in that private space that your identity starts to form. Because what you do in silence becomes who you are in public. Anyone can perform when people are watching, but true mastery happens when no one is looking. The late nights studying, the quiet mornings reflecting, the countless attempts no one will ever applaud. That's where strength is built. The world celebrates results, but it's in the unseen work that greatness is created. The athlete trains long before the stadium lights come on. The writer wrestles with blank pages long before the book becomes a bestseller. The speaker stumbles over words in empty rooms long before they command a stage. They all understand one truth. Visibility is a privilege earned through private discipline. In private work, you learn patience, the art of staying steady when no one cares. You learn focus, the ability to choose progress over attention. You learn humility, the strength to grow quietly without needing validation. And the best part? When you finally emerge, your work carries a kind of power that only silence can produce. People won't just see what you've built, they'll feel the depth behind it. Because private work leaves fingerprints of authenticity on everything you create. So, embrace your quiet season. When you're off the radar, it's not a setback, it's strategy. The seed that's hidden underground isn't dead, it's preparing to bloom. In silence, your craft matures, your mind strengthens, and your purpose becomes unshakable. When you return, you won't have to convince anyone that you've changed, your results will say it for you. That's the power of private work. Tola used to post everything, every small win, every late night hustle, every caption ending with #grind. She thought visibility meant validation, and validation meant progress. But one day, she realized something. She was becoming more focused on being seen working than actually working. So she disappeared. No more posts, no updates, no explanations, just silence. While everyone wondered where she'd gone, she was quietly rebuilding, learning, failing, restarting. There were days she cried out of frustration, no applause, no encouragement, just her and the work. But she stayed, because deep down, she knew growth doesn't always make noise. Months passed. Her friends moved on to new trends, new platforms, new distractions. But Tola stayed grounded. Then one day, she returned, not with an announcement, but with results. Her brand was cleaner, her voice was stronger, her craft sharper than ever. People asked, when did all this happen? And she smiled, because it didn't happen overnight. It happened in silence, in that hidden space between effort and reward. The truth is, her breakthrough wasn't luck. It was private consistency finally meeting public opportunity. And that's the story we all live in some way. Because at some point, life asks you, can you keep working when no one's clapping? If your answer is yes, then you're already winning, even before the world sees it. Silence is not emptiness, it's strategy. When you stop explaining your every move, you create space for your results to do the talking. The world has made noise a metric for progress, but real leaders know that stillness builds strength. Every moment you spend proving yourself is energy lost from improving yourself. Protect your plans the way a seed protects its roots, underground, unseen, yet growing. Because when the time is right, the tree doesn't need to announce its fruit, it simply bears it. Let people wonder what you're up to. Let them guess, assume, or even doubt. You don't owe clarity to anyone who didn't help you build. Your silence doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're focused. It means you've learned that privacy is power. And when your work finally speaks, it'll echo louder than any caption, post, or conversation ever could. You've just listened to Never Tell People What You Do, Focus in Silence. Remember, discipline is louder than words, and peace is more productive than attention. If this message spoke to you, carry it quietly into your next move. Let your results become your language. Thanks for tuning in to Audiobook Hub, where words become wisdom, and wisdom becomes strength. Stay intentional, stay silent, and keep building, until the world can't ignore what you've become.